The HUOIT to you in 2025. Powerful A Brie. Stop waiting for someone to clap for you. Stop waiting for the world to notice your effort, your pain, your progress. This year is not about who sees you. It's about what you see in yourself. You've spent too many years shrinking to make others comfortable, waiting for validation from people who can't even validate their own lives. You don't owe anyone an explanation, applause, or proof. You owe it to yourself to become everything you once said you would be. 2025 is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You made promises to yourself that no one else heard. You whispered dreams in the dark when no one was around to listen. Now it's time to make those whispers loud. This is the year you stop negotiating with your potential. No more halfway effort. No more almost trying. You've seen what happens when you let fear drive. Now watch what happens when you take control. Every day you wake up, you face a choice. Stay where you are or step toward who you're meant to be. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to remind you to keep going. You owe it to you to push when you don't feel like it. To get up when your mind screams rest. To show up when no one's watching. That's where transformation begins. In the silence, in the discipline, in the moments you think don't matter but shape everything that does. You've been doubting yourself for too long, comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. But here's the truth. You're not late and you're not behind. You are right on time for your own story. The only delay is the one caused by hesitation. Stop asking for permission to grow. You don't need approval to elevate. The dream inside you didn't come to die in comfort. It came to live through effort. You've got to stop waiting for motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. The person who wins this year isn't the loudest. It's the one who stays consistent when the excitement disappears. It's not the one who starts fast. It's the one who doesn't stop. You owe it to yourself to be consistent, even when the results are invisible, even when the progress feels small, even when nobody believes in you yet. Because the truth is, belief doesn't start from others. It starts from within. Protect your energy this year. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Every distraction is stealing from your destiny. Every wasted hour is an opportunity gone. The future version of you is watching, waiting for you to take this moment seriously. You can't build something lasting while being available to everything temporary. Cut the noise, cut the nonsense, and cut anyone who keeps you stuck. 2025 is not the year to chase trends, attention, or comparison. It's the year to become the standard, to stand on your word, to show up like you mean it, to become so focused, so intentional that the old version of you couldn't recognize who you become. You owe it to yourself to become the person who no longer breaks promises made in silence, the person who no longer waits for opportunity, but creates it, the person who doesn't talk about potential, but embodies it. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of consistency, sacrifice, and self-respect. You owe it to that version to keep moving. You owe it to the nights you cried, the days you doubted, and the moments you almost quit. You owe it to the younger you who believed this dream was possible, and to the future you who's counting on you to make it real. You owe it to you in 2025 to stop running from your greatness and start walking in it. Yashu OIT to you in 2025. No more excuses. A brewer. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's not luck and it's not anyone else's fault. It's excuses. Excuses are the invisible walls you've built around your potential. They sound logical, they sound safe, but they keep you small. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, the dream fades a little further. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you really mean is it's not important enough to me yet. The truth hurts, but so does staying stuck. 2025 is not the year to explain why it didn't happen. It's the year to make it happen. You've spent too long telling yourself stories that protect your comfort but destroy your progress. You've said, I'm tired. I don't know how. I'll try next week. But deep down, you know that none of those are real barriers. They're shields for fear. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of discovering how powerful you actually are. Because once you see what you're capable of, you can't go back to the old you. Excuses are seductive. They give you a way out, a soft place to land when things get hard. But every excuse you choose is a vote against your own growth. You can't have both progress and comfort. You either choose to stay the same or you choose to evolve, but you don't get both. The comfort zone looks safe, but it's the most dangerous place you can live because nothing grows there. Your goals won't grow there. Your mindset won't grow there. Your life won't grow there. You say you want change, but do you want it enough to let go of the stories that keep you still? The reason you're not where you want to be isn't because you're not capable. It's because you've convinced yourself there's always more time. But time is not waiting for you. Every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. Every someday you promise yourself is stealing from your future. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more pretending that motivation is the answer. Success doesn't need perfect timing. It needs consistent effort. You don't need to know everything before you start. You just need to start. You'll figure it out on the way. You always do. The people who make it aren't the ones with the most resources, talent, or luck. They're the ones who decided that excuses were no longer an option. The world doesn't stop for your hesitation. Opportunities don't wait while you think about it. While you're second guessing, someone else is taking action. While you're scrolling, someone else is working. While you're doubting, someone else is deciding. The difference between winning and wishing is discipline. The difference between stuck and successful is consistency. The difference between you now and the version of you keep imagining is found in the space where your excuses used to live. You say you want peace, but peace comes after growth, and growth comes after discomfort. You say you want success, but success demands sacrifice of comfort, of ego, of laziness. You say you want freedom, but freedom requires responsibility. You can't skip the struggle and expect the reward. You can't keep saying, I'll try and expect transformation. Trying is not the same as committing. There is no power in maybe. There is only yes or no. This year, stop being your own obstacle. You've already fought through worse than this. You've survived days that should have broken you. You've climbed out of situations people said you'd never escape. You are not weak. You're just comfortable. But comfort has never built anything worth keeping. Every time you feel that pull to procrastinate, remember this: your future is on the line. Every excuse you make takes you one step further from the life you claim you want. You owe it to yourself to stop negotiating with excuses, to stop giving energy to doubt, to stop saying I can't when what you mean is I won't. You owe it to yourself to take control of your story, your habits, and your choices. The gap between your current self and your best self is not filled with chance. It's filled with excuses waiting to be erased. And the moment you erase them, everything you said you wanted starts moving toward you. AQOIT to you in 2025. Consistency beats motivation REC. You won't always feel like it. You won't always wake up ready to move mountains. Some mornings, your energy will be low, your focus scattered, your motivation nowhere to be found. But that's where the real difference is made. Not in the days when you feel inspired, but in the days when you don't. Motivation is temporary. It's a spark, not a fuel source. If you rely on feeling ready to take action, you'll never build the momentum you need to change your life. Discipline, not motivation, is what builds empires. Discipline is what transforms dreams into reality. Motivation fades as soon as things get uncomfortable. It disappears when the results don't come fast enough, when the process feels boring, when no one's cheering you on. But consistency, that's the quiet power that never leaves you. Consistency doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need applause. It's the repetition of showing up over and over, even when you'd rather quit. It's doing what needs to be done, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's not. Every great thing you've ever wanted will demand consistency. The body you want, the career you dream of, the peace you crave, all of it from the habits you repeat, not the moments you feel inspired. People chase motivation because it feels good. It's a rush, a high, a spark that makes you believe change is instant. But consistency is slower. It's quieter. It's not glamorous. It's showing up when you're tired, staying focused when it's boring, pushing forward when progress feels invisible. And that's exactly why it works. This year, stop waiting for the perfect mood to start. Stop waiting for inspiration to strike. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The moment you start moving, the moment you begin to do what you said you'd do, you'll notice that the energy follows. But if you sit around waiting to feel ready, you'll waste another year watching others move ahead. Readiness is a lie. The most successful people weren't ready either. They just started and stayed consistent. Consistency builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you send a message to your mind, I keep my word. That's how confidence is built. Not through pep talks, not through hype, but through repetition. When you do what you said you'd do, day after day, you stop doubting yourself. You begin to see proof of your own power. That proof turns into belief, and that belief fuels everything else. There's a reason why people give up so quickly. They expect immediate results for minimal effort. They want success in a week, transformation in a month, recognition overnight. But consistency doesn't work that way. It's built in layers, one small action at a time. Each day compounds. Each repetition strengthens the foundation. You may not see the change right away, but the universe always rewards consistency. The results don't show up to those who want it the most. They show up to those who work for it the longest. It's easy to stay committed when everything feels exciting. It's easy to show up when there's momentum, but consistency tests your character when everything slows down. When progress stalls, when life gets heavy, when the motivation that once fueled you disappears. That's when discipline takes over. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline asks, did you do it anyway? Hebrew in 2025. The difference between who you are and you want to become will come down to your ability to stay consistent when nobody's watching. The early mornings when you'd rather sleep, the late nights when you'd rather rest, the daily habits that seem too small to matter. Those are the things shaping your future right now. Small actions done repeatedly create massive change. You can't skip the process. You can't cheat consistency. It's not about working harder once. It's about working steadily always. You may not see results today or tomorrow, but that doesn't mean it's not working. Seeds don't grow the moment you plant them. They grow because you keep watering them, even when the soil looks the same. Your goals are the same way. Keep watering them with effort, with patience, with discipline, and eventually they'll grow into everything you've imagined. You won't always feel motivated, and that's okay. You're not supposed to. Motivation is emotion, and emotions change. But discipline is a decision. It's a commitment to keep showing up no matter what the day brings. This year, build habits so strong that they no longer depend on how you feel. Because once you master consistency, you'll realize that success was never about intensity. It was about showing up again and again until the results had no choice but to appear. WUOIT to you in 2025. Reclaim your time and focus share a brr. Every scroll, every distraction, meaningless moment of escape is stealing from your future. You might not feel it right away, but every second you trade for noise is a piece of your destiny slipping away quietly. Your attention is your most valuable currency. And in 2025, the world is fighting for it harder than ever. Every notification, every trend, every endless feed is designed to pull you away from your purpose. But here's the truth. Your life will be shaped by what you choose to give your focus to. If you don't control your attention, someone else will. You owe it to yourself to take your time back, to take your focus back, to stop letting distractions dictate your direction. You can't build the life you want if you're constantly reacting to everything around you. The reason you feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and unfulfilled isn't because you're not capable. It's because your mind is constantly being hijacked. You wake up and reach for your phone before you reach for your goals. You check other people's lives before checking in with your own. You've become a spectator instead of a creator. And that ends when you decide to reclaim what's yours. Focus is power. When you learn to focus, you take control of your future. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they lack focus. They're everywhere but nowhere at once. They chase 10 things and finish none. But the people who win, the people who build something that lasts, are the ones who understand the value of concentration. They protect their time like it's sacred, because it is. Think about how much energy you waste trying to keep up with everyone else. Comparing, scrolling, reacting. All that time could have been invested into building something for yourself. Every hour spent in distraction is an hour stolen from progress. You don't get that back. The hardest truth to accept is that your distractions are costing you your dreams. They disguise themselves as harmless habits, as entertainment, as rest. But deep down, you know they're not rest. They're escape. And the more you escape, the further you drift from the person you're supposed to become. You can't keep saying you don't have time when time is being wasted every single day. It's not that you lack hours. It's that your hours lack intention. Reclaiming your time means creating boundaries that protect your focus. It means saying no when it's uncomfortable, walking away from people and habits that drain you, and being okay with being unreachable sometimes. The peace you want requires discipline. The success you want requires solitude. You can't grow if you're constantly distracted by noise. Your energy is not infinite. Every thought, every scroll, every conversation either feeds you or drains you. If you don't guard your focus, you'll spend your life tired but unfulfilled, busy but unproductive, connected but directionless. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's survival. You can't pour into your future when your present is constantly interrupted. The next level of your life demands more clarity, more presence, more intention. That means cutting off distractions that don't align with where you're going. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to know what everyone else is doing. You need to be present in your own story. You need to be intentional with every moment, because focus is how you build mastery, and mastery is how you build legacy. When you focus, the noise fades and your purpose becomes louder. Reclaiming your time is more than a productivity hack. It's a spiritual discipline. It's about honoring yourself enough to stop wasting your life on things that don't matter. Every time you say no to distraction, you're saying yes to growth. Every time you choose discipline over entertainment, you're strengthening your future. The world will try to convince you that multitasking is power, that constant stimulation is success. But real success comes from depth, not speed, from focus, not noise. This year, silence will be your superpower. Simplicity will be your strength. The more you eliminate distractions, the more space you create for creativity, clarity, and peace. You'll realize that you never lack time. You only lack boundaries. You never lack focus. You only lack priorities. Once you decide that your future matters more than temporary pleasure, everything changes. You owe it to yourself to protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because in every way that matters, it truly does. DIQOIT to you in 2025. Become the standard for a bro. Don't chase trends. Don't chase validation. Don't chase comparison. Become the person you said you'd be, the standard you once admired in others. The world doesn't need more copies, it needs originals. And this year, it's time to stop blending in and start standing out for the right reasons. You've spent too long looking around, measuring your worth against people who aren't living your life, walking your path, or carrying your purpose. You don't need to keep up. You need to level up. The version of you that will rise in 2025 is the one who stops chasing and starts becoming. Becoming the standard means you stop asking what's popular and start asking what's right for you. You stop following what everyone else is doing and start building something that's real, something that lasts. Trends fade, hype dies, attention moves, but character, consistency, and authenticity never go out of style. You can't build a legacy by following what's temporary. You build it by setting the tone, by being the one who does it differently, by being the one who refuses to compromise what they stand for. You owe it to yourself to become the person who doesn't just talk about growth, but lives it. The person who doesn't wait for opportunities, but creates them. The person who no longer looks for inspiration from others because they've become their own source. Becoming the standard means holding yourself accountable even when no one's watching. It means having values that don't shift with opinions. It means showing up every single day like you have something to prove to your future, not to the world. The truth is, you've always had the potential to be great. You've always had the ability to lead, to inspire, to set the pace. But you've been distracted by comparison. You've been chasing recognition instead of purpose. You've been trying to fit in when you were meant to stand apart. There's power in knowing that you don't have to match anyone's energy but your own. When you become the standard, you stop being influenced by what everyone else is doing because you already know who you are and what you're building. Becoming the standard is not arrogance. It's alignment. It's realizing that excellence isn't something you occasionally practice. It's something you consistently embody. It's walking into every room with the mindset that you bring value, that your presence adds weight, that your effort sets the example. You don't wait for others to raise the bar. You raise it yourself. You don't wait for permission to lead. You lead through your actions, through your discipline, through your example. The ones who become the standard are the ones who do what others won't. They show up when others quit. They stay consistent when others get bored. They keep their word when no one's checking. They don't measure their success by how many people notice. They measure it by how much they grow. When you become the standard, you hold yourself to a level that doesn't bend under pressure. You decide that your effort, your focus, and your integrity are non-negotiable. You can't become the standard if you keep watering down who you are to fit someone else's mold. You can't lead if you're still trying to be liked by everyone. You can't reach your full potential if you're afraid to stand alone. The path of leadership is often lonely, but it's powerful. Because when you commit to being your authentic self, you give others permission to do the same. You become the proof that it's possible to stay true and still rise. In 2025, it's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about raising your own expectations until excellence becomes your default. You become the standard when you stop lowering your effort to match the environment and start elevating your effort to define it. When others see chaos, you bring clarity. When others give up, you stay grounded. When others settle, you keep climbing. Becoming the standard means no longer waiting for someone else to set the pace. It means no longer shrinking to make others comfortable. It means walking into every challenge with the mindset that you are built for this, that you belong here, that you are capable of leading by example. It's understanding that you are not in competition with anyone. You are in construction of yourself. You are the blueprint. You are the model. You are the measure of what discipline, focus, and purpose can create. You owe it to yourself to become the person you once looked up to, the version of yourself that others can look at and say, that's what commitment looks like. You owe it to yourself to set the bar so high that your past self could only dream of reaching it. Becoming the standard isn't about proving anything to the world. It's about living every day in alignment with your potential until the person you are and the person you're meant to be finally become one and the same.